Well, welcome everyone. My name is Mia Finnegan, and this is my husband Rich, and we're so excited to hear to share with you tonight about the X39, these incredible patches that have actually changed our life. We have been in the wellness, fitness, I say prevention field. Really, we always say we're healthcare, right? We always say doctors are kind of disease care. We're the ones trying to keep people out of the doctor's office. And when this came upon us, we weren't really ready for it or anything, but it kind of just found us and right place, right time, all that. And it's the biggest wellness breakthrough that we've seen in our entire career. And we've been doing this 36 and 39 years now. And so we're excited to share this with you. We're going to go ahead and show you our slide deck and just run through some slides and run through some testimonials and then just, answer any questions at the end. We're going to try to get this, really quick. I always say kind of hit it and get it really fast, just so we can go ahead and answer any questions at the end. So I will say we do have special guests on tonight, Sheila and Ralph Gambardella. And, we were chatting earlier that we're kind of soulmates in this life and in this business. Sometimes that's the way God allows our lives to collide. So we're excited to hear their story. So I'll go ahead and start, and we'll just talk about this disclaimer. We don't heal, treat, cure, mitigate any diseases. We don't diagnose any diseases. We also don't make medical claims.
Or financial claims.
Financial claims, I'm sorry, medical or financial claims. And I just always want to get that out of the way because we are going to talk about wellness. We're going to talk about how this patch changes lives. And so I'm going to actually even go away from this slide right away because I want Sheila and Ralph to share with you their testimonial live and how this has changed their life. So I'm going to go ahead and stop share. And then I'm going to go ahead and ask to unmute, and you can go ahead and take it away.
All right, thanks. Good to be on here. Yeah, it's hard to summarize in a couple of minutes what this has done to our lives. Anyway, so in the last 5 years, I've had 4 surgeries: knee, shoulder, rods in the lower part of my spine. Been to over 100 physical therapy sessions. I lost a lot of upward and downward mobility. And the last surgery was about 2 years ago. I did it to get rid of some sciatic. About a year ago, unfortunately, 2 of the screws broke and the sciatic came back worse than it was. And I was dealing with that for a few months. And we had met a guy named Jason Miller through a friend. And I just kept hearing the Lord telling me to call Jason. I'm like, I didn't know what Jason had, a magic pill or a potion, but I put it off. One day, God turned up the heat in my leg so much, I felt like it was in a furnace. I probably called more out of desire. I called out of desperation. Bateson answered. He shared his story with me. I had a pain surgeon, a pain doctor, a surgeon, and a massage therapist all talk to me about cortisol levels. So in Jason telling me about what it did for him, helping him post-surgery, losing, not wearing his glasses, he also said that he'd lost weight, told me about cortisol. They told me that would help me maybe get the inflammation down and help with my nerve pain. So I said, well, okay, I'll try it, right? Like everybody else wants to do. And I was looking for something that would give me more healing than just help me. It's amazing. I can do this now, right? I don't want to get too wild. I swam a half a lap in the pool, which may not seem like much, but I couldn't even swim for the past probably, I'd say probably 2 or 3 years or so. And we never really had we didn't really look at this initially as a business, but after we started having a lot of success, especially for me, because my attitude had shifted pretty negative last year, but I started sleeping and getting better because this was allowing me to get rid of brain fog and be able to sleep, and my body started healing itself, which allowed me to start working out again and start to build muscle and all that. And people were saying, Ralph, man, you're like a whole different guy. What's going on? And it's real simple. I just turn my head, point to the back of my neck and say, I'm wearing this thing. Everybody asked the same question. What is it? So after about 15 or 20 what is it, we called Jason and said, should we give people your phone number? You got a website, whatever you want. He said, yeah, you could do that. Or you can become brand partners. And he explained to me what that was. And he said, well, Plus, you can either make money or get your patches paid for. It wasn't our focus, but you know, it's been amazing. We've made some pretty decent passive income. Definitely have gotten our money back, but more importantly, what we've seen happen to people that we know on a personal level. It's like if you knew the cure for cancer, you wouldn't hold it to yourself. And there's just so many thousands of testimonies that think it's all just a placebo effect or something could just happen arbitrarily. But when you see people's lives change, she had a friend, 20 years of migraine headache, gone. I mean, I could go on forever about the testimonies, but it's made a difference. But I can't because now it's her case.
So I tell people I got a new husband, and they said, "Did you get remarried?" No, I got one. But I wanted to try them too because I had a hip replacement a year ago, and I was 6 months in, post surgery, and I still was having swelling in my hip. And so I said, let me see, what these will do for me. And 2 days, the swelling was gone. I had been icing it twice a day. Within the first week, the brain fog lifted, which I didn't even know I had because I didn't know what it was. I started sleeping better. I was more alert. I used to drink about 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day because to stay awake while I was working. I don't have to drink any coffee anymore. I have energy. I feel about 20 years younger. My skin is not like all rough and it's soft. My wrinkles are going away, which is really crazy. And my gums, I had receding gums for 30 years. And I went to the dentist not long ago, and my gums have grown down, but they're not receded anymore. It's crazy. And the best part about it all was, well, this isn't a good part, but I broke my clavicle not too long ago, and I had to have surgery on it. And 2 days, no swelling, off of meds. I was hiking in the woods, a couple days afterwards. It's like, I wish I would have had the patch when I had my hip surgery, but it's just so easy to share with everybody. I want to tell everybody. I mean, people are just amazed. And if I can have 15 seconds, our granddaughter has epilepsy, and they put her on medication, and she had adverse reactions to it. And so we tried the patch on her, and she was able to come off the medication. She doesn't have any more seizures. She's sleeping through the night when she wasn't sleeping. And she's 2.5. 2.5. Wow. Yeah. So,
unbelievable. Like,
well, undeniable.
But this is what we say. We always say unbelievable, incredible. Like there's so many incredible things. And again, we can't make medical claims, but at the same time, it's undeniable results. Yeah. Like that's all we have to say.
It's unbelievable when we don't understand the mechanism of
Correct,
it.
Yeah.
Until we do a little bit of research and we understand, oh no, this is logical. This is, and like you said, it's you would assume it's some type of placebo if you don't understand. It looks just like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
But then so congratulations on that. I mean, that's powerful on your own life journey, just first and foremost, but then with your seeing the little ones getting impacted like that, it's you can't not share it, like you said, right? If we had this cure and we know we're not cured, because it is a wellness device. That's what we want to be clear about. It's a wellness device. It's not a medical device. So the difference is that medical devices treat, cure, diagnose and heal disease. We're not doing that. We're working on the wellness. We're working on the vitality, the vital signs, the heart, the cardiovascular system, really the regenerative cells within the body. So so phenomenal.
This beautiful little patch literally helps the body heal itself. That's all. Like that's all we can say about it. It triggers the body into healing itself, and that's the way God intended in the first place. That's the way we're supposed to heal. So I'm going to go ahead and mute you guys.
Congratulations, first of all. That's fantastic.
We're so happy. Thanks for being on the journey with us. And I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint and talk about these testimonials. Like you just heard Sheila share and Ralph share about their amazing results. And so now I'm just going to share some really quick results with you all. This is my girlfriend Michelle. She had a tummy tuck years ago. This was a 2.5-year-old scar, and I just said, I'll just stick the patch near it. This was 27 days later, so you can just see the healing from within. This is her dad, skin cancer removal. He's a diabetic. He has heart disease. He's 81 years old. And this is how fast it healed, 8 days later. And if you know diabetics, they do not heal. right here, a controlled laser burn. This is my girlfriend Yvonne. She's a nurse practitioner and she uses the patches in her practice. But this is a 3-day turnaround instead of a 10-day to 2-week turnaround. So what it does is it speeds up healing, the healing response of your own body. Your body is healing itself, but it speeds it up. And this is Michelle's dad. He had incredibly edemic ankles. If you know anybody that has ankles that look like this, share this with them, please, because usually it's because they have a weak heart and their heart can't pump that fluid out of the bottom of their legs. Well, this is 8 months later. David Schmidt, the owner, inventor of this, talks about one sleeve. This is a 30-day supply for every decade old. So he was willing to give it 8 months. He's been on them for almost 2 years now. Incredible results. He feels great. You should see his picture. He looks like 20 years younger. It's just absolutely amazing. Just like you said, Sheila, like his skin doesn't look ruddy anymore. His skin looks vibrant. It looks like it's glowing. And this is my girlfriend, Shannon. Some of you may know her. Maybe she invited you to this. I reached out to her a couple of years ago just because I knew she was of my age. I'm a little bit older than her, but I knew she'd be going through menopause. And I know there's a lot of stuff we go through in menopause. And I just said, just try it. You know what I mean? It's like it can't hurt to try it. So this is a gentleman who's been on the X39 for over a year now. He's been on it for a couple of years now, but this was after 1 year. You can see the hair regrowth, follicle regrowth. And not only was he very gray, but now he's charcoal. Right? So his hair, so basically is turning back those years. Now, is he going to turn back to brown? Maybe that's the color of his hair. No. Rich had the same exact results. My son Eli was the one that noticed it. He was like, Dad, man, you got more lettuce. That was one. He said, yeah, more lettuce. And then the second thing said, he's like, I think it's darker. Like he said, I think it's darker from the root. Another one of my girlfriends, this is her husband, a 15-year-old wound that he just kept putting a Band-Aid on. You can see the Band-Aid marks. This was 6 weeks. Now this thing is almost completely closed. Okay, so you can see wound healing. That's what we're talking about. Brain health. You know, we all have, people in our life that are a little bit older, maybe in their 70s and 80s and 90s, who need cognitive health. Now, when I saw this, when I first was introduced to the company by my friend Andy, I saw this study and I had 6 concussions as a college gymnast. So I had a lot, obviously, traumatic brain injuries. And so I just knew that if this is all it ever did for me was to take away the inflammation in my brain, and this is exactly what it did. So this is a 77-year-old woman, 3 weeks on the X39, dramatic improvement in brain coherence, and then even more at the 6-week mark. For me, the first day on this little patch, I put it on, and then I had to call Andy because I was like, are you kidding? This has got to be a placebo. My brain, I felt like somebody gave me Windex for my brain. I felt like the clouds parted. Sheila, you said the same thing within the first, you're like, I didn't even know I had brain fog. Well, I was in the throes of menopause. Yeah, I had a lot of brain fog and also a lot of brain injury. So that made all the difference. And then the other thing, Sheila, you said the same thing. You talked about sleep. Sleep is number one in fitness and wellness. When we are trying to help people lose fat or gain muscle, they need sleep. Sleep is your recovery. And so I was getting 2 hours and 12 minutes of restorative sleep. That means deep and REM. 1 month on the patch, it increased 31%. The second month on the patch, it increased another 6. So 37% in 2 months, my deep and REM. That means REM is brain function and deep sleep is your physical restoration. So now I'm getting look at these numbers over here. I'm getting 4 hours and 14, 441, 342. These are my averages now. And this is 2.5 years later. So I will never stop using these, and I share them with everybody I know. I don't care. Like if they say, no, I don't really care, I'm going to share them with them because I can't not, because they might know somebody who, could get those results. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this to Rich and allow him to kind of chat about how we age.
Yeah, absolutely. And, those testimonials are super powerful. And for us coming in from the wellness space, with customers, with clients that we work with, we need to be a filter.
Yeah.
And what we started to do after we saw the testimonials, first of all, we didn't believe it. We were in denial about it. We'd like, nope, okay, I need to see the science behind it. And then what we found out, which we didn't know, that by age 30, we've lost about 30% of our what's called stem cell activity. So we want to try and enhance that as much as we can. We didn't know that by age 60, we've lost almost 50 to 70% of that. And that's really what the decline is, where the aging. You see some 80-year-olds who are aged differently than other 80-year-olds. And it's tied into these restorative cells and the regenerative processes of the body.
Yeah.
And that's the stem cells. So the fewer stem cells we have, the faster we age. And so we know that millions and millions of people are going through that process, trying to eliminate that as much as we can. So what happens when we put this patch on, what it's doing is it's elevating a peptide. You may have heard about peptides. You may have heard of collagen peptides, which is what ties into the skin. But this GHKCU, copper peptide, you can just do some research, look on NIH, National Institute of Health, PubMed, et cetera, see what the benefits, what GHK does in our body. And you'll see that it does all these things, from increased strength, reducing inflammation, and increasing stamina. All these, I've basically experienced all of them as a 63-year-old. I've experienced all these and experiencing the improvement in mental clarity and brain balance and improved sleep and skin appearance.
I have a new husband too.
And a younger one. And we saw those things happening. We saw the joint pain diminish. We saw I could jog again on the beach. I have 2 artificial joints in my lower body and then two in my neck. And I know what joint pain feels like. And it just was reduced because my body was functioning at a higher level. My sleep improved, my strength and my cardiovascular improved. So those are the things that we see, that it's just super dramatic. And from a long term, that's just getting started. You know, from a long term, what's actually happening is the genes are basically acting newer and younger again. You know, it's like if you go water a plant that's dying, you see it. You don't see it initially in the leaves. You see it through the root and the core. And that's what's happening. This is working systemically through our body. And so within 6 weeks, the brain starts to become balanced. We see from a skin standpoint, the collagen, we notice, we take pictures, it's not a 1 day for collagen. It might be 1 day for brain fog and inflammation. Some people find that. But like if we water a plant, it might take 2 weeks for those leaves to start to get, that's like the skin. The skin is the exterior part. It takes time for it to travel, work through the cellular level, and then all of a sudden we get this decrease of these fine lines and wrinkles. After about 6 months, we have data on it that the cardiovascular system improves. That's one thing that we're very, very focused on, is what's happening at the vascular level. It's why we see those things occur, from the reduction of inflammation. We see the reduction of swelling. We see all those things. We see cardiovascular improvement because it's working. We talk about the word vitality all the time. What are our vital signs? It's cardiovascular, it's heart and lungs.
Yeah.
And so this is helping improve at that. So we see a lot of things that we don't want to make medical claims, but we see just the body becoming more healthy. And it's really because, you know, what we've learned is the research from this gentleman, David Schmidt, you know, as we were digging through this skeptically, and we found out that he'd been doing this. He mastered this technology over 20 years ago, and he created these other patches. I think we're going to show a slide that were being used by athletes and people all over the world. But what happened is he started to focus his attention on stem cells in 2008. Spent about 10 years and $4.5 million to develop this one particular patch, the X39, which really is the key to this restorative, regenerative aspects of the body. And he has over 80 clinical studies in all these various patches. But the first patch was this energy enhancer. That's the one that got our attention because we saw that it was in the professional athletic field, in the Olympic field for 20 years, the energy patch. But it's the same technology, elevating and affecting the cellular. Just jot this down if you want to learn something. It's called cell signaling technology. The patch reflects our own heat and light back into the body. Once we put it on, it reflects it back in, and it signals the cells, just like the sunlight signals the cells to produce vitamin D, or sunlight signals the cells to produce melanin, which gives us more of a tan, etc. So it's just cell signaling technology, and he'd mastered this with these athletes who were athletes using it for years and years. So what he did, he, as all of his patches, he patented this technology. You can see these are the actual patents on the right side. I'm a little bit of a science geek. I needed to see this because if I'm recommending it, and we work with people in the health and wellness and performance coaching field, they're going to ask me, what's the real deal with this? Like, what's backing up the science? This is what points directly to it, to the science.
Yeah, and I wanted to share this too, in regards to peptides too. you got to understand that when we're elevating them, it takes time. This is we're naturally elevating these peptides in our body. And these are your endogenous. Okay. That means it's yours. We're not throwing a peptide in. It is this. And I'll just show you where I wear mine. I wear mine because I had a nasty shoulder. I didn't even share that part of my testimony, but this is what is like reflecting my body to increase the copper peptide in my body, my own. Nobody's putting collagen in me. It's increasing my own collagen. So
we're not injecting it in. We're not trying to ingest it either, too. You know, you can go buy peptides over the counter all day ingesting, but guess what? Our stomach is a bunch of acid, and it's super hard for that to make it through the digestive tract. The fact that we're elevating our own peptide levels is really a key advantage. And it's not an injection, it's not an IV, it's not a surgery, it's not a drug, it's not a pill. It's the X39, which supports the body's natural flow of energy, and that just works so much from our whole body. And we talk about whole body wellness systemically, and really just causing our cells to behave. You know, why did my hair get darker? You know, how come the collagen fills our cells just start to act younger? Because it's restoring them. It's regenerating them and giving them the time to do it. And so what this does, this little video Mia's going to show, which it just talks about a little of the basics, the fundamentals of how this works. So, Mia,
so I'm just going to show this real quick. It's about a 28-second video. So
here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself.
Pretty simple. Cell signaling technology. We're just reflecting that back in. And as you can see, reflecting that light back in, no drug, chemical stimulants, nothing enters the body. It's called non-transdermal, like a nicotine patch is transdermal. It's emitting something into us. This is non-transdermal, just really tapping into the body's own healing and restorative. Hey, just like we tap in when we go to the gym and we lift a weight, we have resistance training, we break the body down. That activates stem cell activity. Okay, all those good things that we do, we eat, we sleep, we exercise, those things are all contributing to that. So now we can enhance that with this phototherapy patch. And it's really simple how we use it. You know, many of you watching here, but who knows if this is in a replay. You know, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Just put a new patch on every day, put one on in the morning, and take it off before you go to bed. Stay hydrated, because we are dealing with the body's it's called the bioelectrical system, the body's electrical system. So just know when you have electrolytes, you hydrate so that our electrolytes, it helps the body system work better. And it's really that easy. You know, Mia's done the bulk of it. We've coached thousands of people through weight loss and performance and athletics. It's the easiest thing to deliver. And it goes hand in hand with everything you're doing from a health and wellness standpoint. And speaking of that synergy that's created, what the company has always done is created the Cellergize formulation, which basically has a combination of vitamins and minerals, which cause the patches to work even more effectively, because some people are depleted in certain vitamins and minerals.
Copper.
And as you can see, and we're going to get into the specific ingredients in it next, but as you can see, X39 and Cellergize, because X39 elevates GHKCU copper peptide, and then we improve that by adding Cellergize. There's nothing else on the market out there like that. It has one of the key ingredients is something called sea buckthorn fruit extract. You can do some research, clinically proven to increase stem cell activity. And these are all the ingredients you can see for those people who do have a desire to know about the ingredients that are in there. And you know, anyone who understands supplementation, they'll understand the benefits of this. We won't get into the detail on that, but just know it's designed to support the health and vitality of your own stem, clinically proven to support the health and vitality of your stem cells. Like, that's a huge deal. If you understand what stem cells are and what it does from a regenerative standpoint, this is the holy grail. That's why we're so excited. We've been in the performance space and the wellness space for 35 years. And the fact that we can tap into stem cells and stem cell activity through the combination of this, it's just really been a huge breakthrough, life-changing for a lot of people.
Because we share supplements, we have so many different things that we love. We always say we cherry pick because we are in the fitness industry. We cherry pick the best products
Yes.
and share them with our clients and stuff. But this is different. This is not a supplement. This is cellular regeneration.
Yep.
Like it is another step, and people like turn their head like a dog, like what is it?
We're ahead.
It's okay. It's phototherapy, light therapy.
Yeah.
A lot of people do red light therapy, infrared saunas. They get it. They understand it. This is what we're doing with that little patch. Stick it on, 12 hours on, 12 hours off.
And I think one thing you were saying is sharing it, is how to share it. This is, touch base on this, because this is really how you can share it. It makes it so easy.
Yep.
And just using these, go ahead and share.
Yeah, so, whoever invited you here tonight, they might have sent you these websites to be able to do a little bit of research. But if you've never been to these websites, you can take a screenshot of that, check them out. They basically have all the patents, the testimonials, all the studies, a lot of testimonials on there from all different walks of life. So that's what I love about it, is you're going to see people who are 30, 40, 50, all the way up to 90 years old giving testimonials of what it's done for them. These aren't people who are actually actively sharing it with people. These are people who have just gotten great results. And then as a result, they're like, I have to tell people.
Yeah.
Like it's like sharing a good restaurant or a good book.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to share a good restaurant or a good book or whatever, a good movie, I saw. So definitely go to these websites if you need a little bit more information, or you're going to get back to the person who invited you. But this is the other thing. When you're ready to start, if you haven't done this already, maybe you've already started on the patches, but you want to kind of hear a little bit more, make sure the person who invited you sends you a health tracker. Because you want to make sure you rate yourself on all of these things, from pain, inflammation, headaches, mood swings and stuff, and all the other part, quality of sleep, mental clarity, all that, because you want to track yourself along the way. And we always say, like, I tell this to everybody, I say, isn't your health worth at least 90 days? So we make sure they're at least on them for 90 days, because as a customer, and I'm going to share that next, you have a 90-day money back guarantee. So this is how people get started. We always say, contact the person who invited you to the call, get back with them, because they're going to help you get started in whatever way is best for you. But we have 3 different ways to get started. So 2 of them are customer relationships, and that the PC program is $99 a month. It's a free customer account. You just sign up for a subscribe and save. You get some loyalty samples along the way of the other patches that, like Rich and I were talking about. We were talking about the energy enhancer. You get some of those along the way to try. The PC Plus program costs you $24.95 a year. And you're going to get some patches every month. And you also have a little share link. So if you want to get your patches paid for, you can share it with 3 people. We would say share it with 3 and you get yours free. And then the other option is a brand partner. And all that means is that maybe you want to just get your patches paid for, you share it with people, and you can earn some income and you can get your patches paid for, or you can do, as like Rich and I and Sheila and Ralph are doing. We're actually actively sharing this with everybody we know, and doing this as a part-time Plan B business. Because I told you, we have our fitness business, but this is one of these cherry-picked products that we absolutely have to share with people. So with that said, I just want you to know to get back to the person who invited you, because if we invited you, you're going to get back with us, but whoever invited you, you're going to get back to them. And Rich is kind of pointing out, as a preferred customer, remember I said, I always ask people or tell people that I think, they should do at least 3 months, because I know their health is worth, at least, 90 days to them. And if somebody buys 3 of these sleeves as a preferred customer or PC Plus up front, 3 of them, then you have 89 days to try them free. Because if you don't feel something, no to something or whatever, you can get your money back. That's how much the company believes that you will feel something, see something, or whatever. So that's incredible as far as the preferred customer. But as a brand partner, it's a 30-day money back guarantee. So you can try it for 29 days. And then again, if that's all you're going to give yourself, we always say you need to try it longer. Like I was
Yeah.
willing to try it for 5 months because I was in my 50s. He was willing to try it for 6 months.
But
So
it's not a drug. It's working at the cellular level. Like I said, you got to water the plant. It takes a couple days. It takes a little while to regenerate at the cellular level, you know?
So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close out the call. Now, those who are on here, if you want to stay on and ask any questions, Rich and I will go ahead and stay on and answer any questions for you. But we're going to go ahead and officially end our little product webinar. And then you'll have it for a recording to be able to share with somebody if you liked what you heard.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and
If you're
stop.
just let me say, if you are again, you may have already mentioned it. If you're watching this in the recorded version, reach to the person
Yes,
that sent
that
it
sent
to
it to
you.
you.
They'll answer all your questions, and then we'll look forward to helping in the future as you get going. And we appreciate you taking time.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop that recording. So have a good evening, everyone. Thank you for hopping on, and we're going to go ahead.